Hello everyone, welcome to TRB English Insights channel. Today we are going to explore one of William Shakespeare's most famous tragedies, Julius Caesar. Although this play is titled Julius Caesar, the story is not only about Caesar. It is mainly about political power, ambition, loyalty, betrayal, honor, fate, and the consequences of political decisions. This play is based on real events from ancient Roman history. Julius Caesar was a powerful Roman general who became extremely influential after defeating his political rival Pompey. As Caesar's power increased, some Romans began to fear that he would become a king and destroy the Roman Republic. Among those who became concerned was Brutus, a respected Roman who loved Caesar but also considered himself a loyal citizen of Rome. Another important figure was Cassius, who strongly opposed Caesar's growing power. Cassius gradually persuades Brutus that Caesar must be stopped for the sake of Rome. This leads to a conspiracy involving several Roman senators. Eventually, Caesar is assassinated in the Senate on the Ides of March, that is March 15th, 44 BC. But Caesar's death does not bring peace to Rome. Instead, it creates political chaos, civil war, revenge, and further tragedy. The struggle eventually involves Brutus and Cassius on one side and Mark Antony and Octavius Caesar on the other side. The play ends with the deaths of the major conspirators and the rise of a new political order in Rome. So, Julius Caesar is not simply the story of an assassination, it is the tragedy about power, political idealism, manipulation, friendship, betrayal, and the tragic consequences of human decision. That's all about the introduction of the play. Now, let's move to the historical background. Rome was a powerful republic, but it was politically divided. Three important figures, that is Julius Caesar, Pompey the Great, and Marcus Licinius Crassus. These three formed an unofficial political alliance which is known as First Triumvirate. After Crassus died, the relationship between Caesar and Pompey broke down. A civil war followed it, and Caesar defeated Pompey. Caesar eventually became the most powerful man in Rome. However, many senators feared that Caesar's growing power would destroy the Roman Republic and lead to dictatorship. Next comes Marcus Brutus. Brutus is the tragic hero of the play. He is a respected Roman senator and a close friend of Caesar. Brutus does not personally hate Caesar. This is very important. Instead, he fears that Caesar's growing power may threaten the freedom of Rome. Because of his love for Rome, Brutus joins the conspiracy. His intentions may be noble, but his decisions ultimately lead to tragedy. His character represents the conflict between personal loyalty and political duty. Next comes the most important character of this play, Cassius, since he is the mastermind of the conspiracy. Unlike Brutus, Cassius is strongly motivated by his opposition to Caesar's power. He believes that Caesar is no better than other Romans and should not be allowed to become a ruler over them. Cassius is intelligent as well as manipulative. He understands Brutus' character and uses forged letters and clever arguments to persuade Brutus to join the conspiracy. Next is Mark Antony, who is Caesar's loyal friend and one of the most powerful speakers in the play. After Caesar's assassination, Antony initially pretends to cooperate with the conspirators. However, he secretly plans to turn the Roman people against them. His funeral speech, beginning with "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears," is one of the most famous speeches in Shakespeare. Antony demonstrates the tremendous power of rhetoric and emotional persuasion. Next is Octavius Caesar. Octavius Caesar is the adopted son and heir of Julius Caesar. Although he appears later in the play, he becomes increasingly important after Caesar's death. He joins Mark Antony and Lepidus to form the second triumvirate. Octavius represents the new political order that emerges after the fall of Caesar. Next is Calpurnia, who is Julius Caesar's wife. She becomes frightened after experiencing a disturbing dream in which Caesar's statue appears to bleed. She begs Caesar not to go to the Senate. Her warnings provide another example of the signs that Caesar chooses to ignore. Next important character is Portia, who is Brutus' wife. She is intelligent, courageous, and deeply concerned about Brutus. She realizes that Brutus is hiding something from her and demands to know what is troubling him. Her character demonstrates that women on the play can also show strength, courage, and emotional endurance. Next comes another important character of the play, Casca. He is one of the conspirators who is present during Caesar's assassination and delivers the first stab. This is a very important question that Casca is the first to stab Julius Caesar in the Senate. He also describes the strange supernatural events that occur during the storm in Act 1. Next character that we are going to have is Decius Brutus. Decius Brutus is one of the conspirators. He plays an important role in convincing Caesar to go to the Senate despite Calpurnia's warning. He cleverly interprets Calpurnia's dream in a positive way and appeals to Caesar's pride. Next character is Lepidus. Lepidus becomes one of the members of second triumvirate together with Mark Antony and Octavius. Although he is politically useful to Antony and Octavius, Antony considers him weak and less important. Next character is Artemides. Artemides is a teacher who discovers the conspiracy. He writes a letter warning Caesar about the conspirators and attempts to give it to Caesar before the assassination. His role increases the suspense and reinforces the theme of fate and missed warnings. We have two more characters, that is the soothsayer and Cinna the poet. Soothsayer is the mysterious figure who warns Caesar beware the Ides of March. His warning becomes one of the most famous moments in the play and overshadows Caesar's death. Then, Cinna the poet is an innocent citizen. After Antony's funeral speech, an angry mob encounters him. When he tells them his name is Cinna, they mistaken him for the conspirator Cinna and kill him. His death demonstrates the dangers of mob mentality and political manipulation. Then we have three important political groups. Let us see one by one. The first one is the Caesar's supporters. Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, as well as Octavius Caesar. Then the conspirators. Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius Brutus, Cinna, Metellus Cimber, and Trebonius. The second triumvirate. Mark Antony, Octavius Caesar, and Lepidus. So this is the basic story and character background of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. In our next video, we will explore the play act by act and scene by scene with simple explanations, important events, key quotations, themes and examination points. If you are preparing for UGTrb, PGTrb, NET or English Literature examinations, stay connected with TRB English Insights. Let's learn Shakespeare in a simple and exam-friendly way. Thank you. If you are new to our channel, kindly do subscribe, share and comment.